Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you, all in your time zones around the world and across the country. What it is, it's a Thursday. It's Thursday. How about that? And guess what? It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London and 9 a.m. in Tokyo. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're here with you for the next hour. We're here every Thursday at this time, between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Of course, we all are together. We involve you in conversation, and we do that by me opening up the show by throwing out a little information for you. And then at any time you want, you can get right in there and chime in with us. And I will see you right there on the big screen. I will acknowledge all of your questions, your ideas, your thoughts, and you can conversate with me personally. I'm not hard to talk to. And also other people who come in, you could interact with them as well. That's what it's all about. We thank you so much for being with us on this Thursday. And how about that? How about that? The time really goes fast. It only seems just like yesterday we were here. And but here we are again, and I am so glad to be here. Now, let me tell you, no matter where you are around the world, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can catch us. There's not a place you can go and not set your little computer, your laptop, or whatever, your phone or whatever. You can catch us. We're right here. We're live on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. We're on Instagram. And now that you know that, please, act accordingly. Follow us on there. If you are watching us on YouTube, we want you to subscribe to our channel, okay? Because the more the merrier, because every time we go on live, or if we so much post some kind of video or something, of course, you will be notified. You get notification for that. And of course, that'll make you part of the family too. And if you're watching us on Facebook, right now, as we speak, why don't you take the opportunity right now to tag a friend? You got a lot of friends. I know you do. Tag a friend or two, let them know that we're on the air, and let them follow us too. And then who knows, they may like us and be part of the family too. But we really enjoy your company. And you may be doing a lot of things because, like I said, time zones are different. Now, a lot of people may be at work right now. If you're at work, you're at your computer, you're taking your coffee break, of course, you want to be with us. Now, if you can't stay with us for the entire hour, whatever time you could spare, we really would appreciate that. And again, as I said, you can interact with us right there. All you have to do is say hello, and I will say hello back to each and every one of you. Now, for those of you, a lot of people like to sit idle and not say anything at all, but that's okay. They just want to sit back and enjoy the show, and that's okay. That's fine. As long as you're there, that is great. We've got a lot of things planned as usual for the show. Not too far away in the program, just minutes from now, Brian Camp will be here coming in from Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll be able to see him. He has sports update. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports. Also later on in the program, I will give you all of that information about the Turner Classic Movies, those black and white movies you love so much, the classics that you adore. I have my picks of the week for the weekend. We'll have that for you. Also, we will be talking about this day in history and all of those events that took place. All of that's coming up, and it's all in a matter, and we're cramming everything in 1 hour. And of course, you too, because you're the most important part of this show as well. So thank you so much for being along with us. Well, the summertime is not far away. In certain places, the weather is warm, right? And people are planning their trips. A lot of people are planning to do things, planning to go places, flying off to different places, which they couldn't do like maybe a year and two ago. They had to cancel their trips because of the COVID-19. Things are starting to pick up now. But here in New York, we've got another surge going on, but everybody's doing things, cautiously. There's no shutdown anymore, nowhere, as I can tell. No shutdown. Everybody's doing normal things, but they're doing it with caution. So when the summertime comes around and gets hot, we'll see. Now, as far as, I don't know in your area, but we have that another variant that came along, and we're dealing with it. I mean, we've dealt with it for the past 2 years right now, And I think we could push forward and move on and deal with this as well. But it's a funny thing that, and now that I mentioned all of that, I took my second booster yesterday, just yesterday, my second booster. I said it was about time because it was just maybe about 6 months ago I took the first booster shot. And then, you know, you figure that was going to be the last one, you know, and they come along and they say, oh, you know, now maybe now it's wise to take another booster, take your second booster shot. Now, I'm not sure how long this is going to go on. You know, I was just telling someone just yesterday when I came back, you know, I am getting sick and tired of getting stabbed every 6 months. But those things have to happen. And when you get a certain age too, it's not only just the booster or the shots for COVID. Older people, we have to get things like pneumonia shots, shingles shots, whooping cough shots, you know, different shots, all of those shots to keep you in good tip-top shape, you know, because remember in the old days, and I'm talking to you guys who are baby boomers, who are about my age bracket, maybe older, you know, it was a time when you only had one doctor covered everything, you know. And as you get older, now you got the cardiologist, you got the neurologist, you got this, you got that, you got all of that. You know, for the ladies, you got the gynecologist, you got everything, you know, but ladies always had gynecologists, even at young age. But all of those other doctors, you know, they just come in and they want to take care of you. And you want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure you follow your doctor's orders, you know, within reason, of course. You know, a lot of people question doctors. And I got to admit to you, there are certain things I question too. And, you know, like when your doctor tells you, you know, maybe you better, you know, you're not as young as you used to, maybe you better, you know, ditch the ice cream, you know, for a while, you know, or, you know, don't eat too much ice cream, lower your salt intake, your sugar intake, which I agree with, you know. But when it comes to ice cream, I know ice cream has sugar in it. I like sherbet that has a lot of sugar in it, you know, but I don't do it every day. I do it every now and then, which is a good thing. Every now and then you want to do it. But when they get to the point, you know, unless they tell you it's going to kill you, then you might want to do things in stride. You want to take your time with it. You know, I know a lot of people, they like to drink alcohol. And, you know, when you get a certain age, of course, you know, if you like when you're in college, you know, you did the town in college. Don't tell me because I've been there. You know, you've done the town in college, right? But, you know, when you get a certain age, at the time you grow up, you say, oh, you know, something, I'm going to slow it down a bit. You know, I want to stay as healthy as I can for as long as I can. And people still take a sip or two of something, you know, like people like beer. In the summertime, people are going to be drinking beer. They're going to go to the baseball games. And what better drink goes better than with a baseball game? I couldn't think of, oh, well, soda, you know, I'm not a soda person. I don't drink sodas, too much sugar, you know, I will drink, you know, seltzer water or something like that. And my doctor even took me off of that once. And I said, can you sit down and tell me what I can have, you know? But then, you know, I decided, you know, it's not going to kill me. You know, I just take things in stride, take it easy. Don't go up and down every day. You know, a lot of people like to drink a glass of wine, you know, on the weekends. They want to drink about a glass or two and then leave it. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, everything in moderation. All right. The point is that led us, all of this conversation just led us to this, you know, when we're talking about, you know, me getting the booster shot. And I advise you to get your shots too. If, you know, you're under the sound of my voice right now, you know, this is the time where we are in this pandemic. You know, some places have it heavier than others. I know in New York City, people are, you know, being hospitalized, and these are people who have not been vaccinated yet. Hospitalizations and deaths and things like that, and they're all needless. And so I would say, you know, if you ask me, you know, you make the last decision, but if you ask me, I say, you know, go get it. Go get it. There are some people who hasn't even got the first shot yet. And listen, as long as you're alive, it's never too late. You know, as long as you're not sick, it's never too late, you know. So jump on the bandwagon, you know, and those of you, if I can't change your mind, then I can't. But I'm telling you, the reason why we promote it on the show is because we actually believe in it. And so we're not pushing you. We're not saying you should take it, or if you don't listen to me, you're going straight to Hades. No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. We all believe what we believe, right? And we all do what we have to do. And so I'm just bringing it out there. And that's it. And I've done my job for today. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And right now we're 10 minutes past the hour. And if you're just joining us for the first time, those of you who haven't been here before know that we're here every week at this time between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we invite you to come back again and again and be part of us, you know, because that's what it's all about. And we thank you so much for being so. So I covered all the bases. We've got all of those things coming along. And we've got the, like I said, sports coming on in just about 5 minutes from now, as a matter of fact. That's coming along too. And, you know, the movies, I got those for you. And then we're going to have talk about the history, what's happening in history. There's so many fascinating things happening too. And it's you. And those of you, some people are coming in. So the people who are sitting there idle, I just want to wave to you just to say hi. Thank you so much for being with us. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, even if you don't want to be part of it. But we just want to say hi anyway. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I have information in case, just before I jump off that subject about the variant, I have information that you can get in contact with me. Now, if you're watching me on Facebook right now, right, it's right up there in that section. You look up, see what my little picture is, a little small circle, it has my picture in there. Well, next to it, you could see this information there. And at the bottom, you know, it has my information. I have my email address and my telephone number, and you can get in contact with me personally. If there's something you want to talk about, you don't want to talk about it live here, that's okay. We have other options, you know, email, telephone number, and you can call that. It's simple. I'll start off with that email address. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. That's Frank Allan, A-L-L-A-N. It's spelled Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. We have a telephone number too. You can jot that down, call anytime. And that number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Again, that's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And that's open communications, you can call and anything you like, all right? See, I'm very personable with people. And of course, since you are my friends, you have my number, you have my communications, you can get in touch with me anytime you want. Okay, it's now coming up to 13 minutes to after the hour right now. And of course, the name of the show, again, is called Talk Back Live. So I want to say hi, all of you. We'll talk about Ukraine just for a hot minute. All right, you know, there's a war going on. You know, we want to keep our prayers open to all the people who are out there who have lost their lives, men, women, and children alike, losing their lives every day because of this needless war that's been fostered by Russia, the President Vladimir Putin. What a guy. And he's still at it. He's not going to let go. Ukraine is not going to let go either. They're going to fight it to the end, they say. But at some point, you know, something's got to give. You know, like that song says, something's got to give, something's got to give, something's got to give. You know, it's just terrible that this war existed. And I really don't mind saying Vladimir Putin fostered this whole thing. It was his baby, his doing. And this is where we are today. And a lot of people that's on the side of Putin, a lot of people, there are certain people that said, oh, he's a genius for doing this. He's a genius. Well, you tell me something. What's so genius about hurting people, killing people, which is happening every day? And you see that, you see it. It's there every day, all day, you know, and it's just a terrible thing to see. So I want to keep all of the prayers, and I invite you to join me in this too. Keep all of your prayers and your hopes going for the people of Ukraine. I would like to see them have a great summer, and this is no way to spend the summer. This is no way to spend life, period. And as you already know, a lot of the people have left the place, like men, women, and children. They left. The men have sent their wives and their children over the border to be with family and friends or other people that may take care of them, even strangers taking care of them, So we just want to keep our prayers open. And then the wives are coming back, they're leaving their kids and coming back to their home, to their husbands for the fight. So we just want to make sure that everybody's safe, everybody's sound. And of course, I just want to let people of Ukraine know if they're watching us, because we're all around the world, that we're with you, we love you, we're with you. And it's easy to say continue to fight. It's easier to say that, but I won't say it. I won't say it. Okay, it's now 15 minutes past the hour right now, and guess who's on the other side from Charlotte, North Carolina? He's here every week at this time, and he's here right now, and we're interacting from New York to Charlotte, and there he is right there on the screen, Brian Camp, with the latest developments in today's world of sports.
Well, hello to everybody out there. It's some beautiful weather out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's exactly 68 degrees and it's very cloudy. We had a little threat of clouds of rain, but just a little sprinkles. Goes right by. It doesn't last too long and everything. But everybody's doing well. The weather is great, and this is a beautiful time of the year for not only for the weather but for sports. Period, because it's NBA playoff time, and some of you hockey fans out there, it's hockey playoff time too as well. So. It's just been great. How's everything?
You got a hockey game going on right now, as a matter of fact.
Oh yes, yeah. You got a couple of games that's going on. You got an elimination game. Yeah. You got the Stanley Cup defending champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. They're on the brink of being eliminated, but let's see what happens. They're down 3-2, and they're trying to hold to force a 7th game. So. Yeah, but it's that time of the year where everybody gets excited, and I'm excited. Everybody else should be excited. So let's just have some sports and have some fun, So, but let me get to the sports. NBA news. The NBA unveils some great news. Trophies. There's going to be some trophy. Excuse me. Sorry. Some trophies honoring the great Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, Bob Cousy, and the big old Oscar Robertson. The Eastern Conference Finals MVP award will be named in the honoring of Larry Bird, and the Western Conference MVP Finals will be awarded to the name of Irvin Magic Johnson. As you know, back in 1980, first back in 1979, they played for the college national basketball championship, and in 1980 they came into the league together. So they've been united. Many people say that they saved the NBA at a point where it was losing money and was not being productive. So great news that they're honoring these two legends. Also, they also newly designed the Eastern Conference Championship trophy. Not the MVP, but the trophy, to Bob Cousy, and they updated the Western Conference Championship trophy named after Oscar Robertson, after he won with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1971 when they won the championship for the Milwaukee Bucks. So great news for these here legendary players, and I'm so happy for them. And you know what's so the beautiful thing about it? They did it while they were still alive. They're still alive, all 4 of them. And Bill Russell, not too long ago, maybe a couple of seasons ago, they named the Finals MVP after his name, Bill Russell. I'm glad that he's still with us. And they renamed the All-Star game to Kobe Bryant, who passed away a couple of years ago. So that's some great news. Let some of these players smell their roses for their accomplishments for what they did on the court. And in the football league, this is a big controversy that's going on, and I was in the middle of it. of Tom Brady will join Fox Sports as the lead NFL analyst when his playing career ends. Yeah, Fox has disclosed terms of Brady's deal, but the New York Post reported that the 7-time Super Bowl winning champion quarterback has agreed to a 10-year, $375 million contract. This is the most lucrative in sports broadcasting history. Now, I have a problem with this. First things first, I'm happy for anybody who can make their money. I'm happy that they could get something. I applaud any person, especially an athlete. But what in the world did Tom Brady do to achieve this, where you have people out there who've been going to school, has been in the business for so many years, trying to break in as announcer, TV announcer, color commentary, everything. And he's getting this here contract when he retires. He's not even retired yet from playing football. That's my problem with it. It's been on social media. I'm getting slaughtered on social media about this because I don't think it's fair. He didn't pay his dues. I said to somebody, well, what dues or what college or what broadcasting school did he go to? In any event, he's going to get it. Some people say because he's Tom Brady, because he won 7 Super Bowls. What does that have to do with him being in the media? Moving right along, Major League Baseball intends to play regular season games in London in 2023, 2024, and 2026. The Yankees and Red Sox played at London Olympic Stadium in June of 2019. The Cardinals and Cubs are the leading candidate to play in London next season. Major League Baseball planning to hold a home run derby at London's Crystal Palace Park on yours truly, July 9th this year. So that's what they're going to plan on doing. Boxing. Mike Tyson will not be charged in connection with an incident on an airplane last month. The San Mateo County, California district attorney announced that he will not be charged. If you remember the story, Tyson was being heckled. He's on a plane. He didn't try to hide or disguise himself. The person had a little bit too much to drink. Mike Tyson just clocked him like he usually been doing his opponents for many years when he was in the boxing ring. And that's what happened. So he's not going to be charged, and rightfully so. Man wants to have peace and quiet. He wants to be on a flight without being bothered. But this is why fans don't want to take pictures, don't want to sign autographs, don't want to indulge with the public. This is a prime example of why. Stay away from these athletes. They're human beings. So what? They make a lot of money. You could do the same thing too. Get a job. This day, May 12th, 1955, Chicago Cubs Sam Toothpick Jones. I'm going to say that again. Sam Toothpick Jones is the first African American to pitch a no-hitter, winning over the Pirates 4-0. Toothpick Jones. I'm going to have to do some more research on Toothpick Jones, how he got his name. I could imagine how he got it. I don't know. After a meal, he just had a toothpick in his mouth. I don't know, but I'm going to look that up. And in 1970, Ernie Banks hits his 500th career home run on that day. Birthdays, 1925, Lorenzo Yogi Berra, born in St. Louis, Missouri. Yogi Berra, former Yankee great. I didn't know his name was Lorenzo, but okay. And in 1957, Lou Whitaker, Major League Baseball second baseman, born in Brooklyn, New York. And that is sports.
Toothpick. Do you know when I was a kid, that was one of my nicknames that never stuck though. Toothpick, because I was so skinny. I was like a rail.
Yeah.
Like up and down, no curves, no bumps, no nothing. I was up and down. I was so skinny that my eyes went single file. And yeah, that was,
you were so skinny that you could tap dance on a razor blade too.
Or hula hoop with a Cheerio.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's is it because he's not skinny, is he? No.
I have no idea. I just saw it and I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up who he was. I didn't know there was a baseball player by that name, but apparently there was.
Yeah.
So, and remember how when they used to sell toothpicks
Yeah.
in a box, in a
Yeah.
little box, and you just
Yeah.
lift it up and they used to have the little men on there and everything. You know,
Yeah.
I guess that's for after dinner. You want to refresh your breath with a toothpick.
Yeah. Well, it was a style for all of the boys to keep a toothpick, even if you didn't eat. You had a toothpick in your mouth. That was a style that we did that all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in well, today they call it middle school, but it was junior high school when I was there. Graduated from junior high school. I never forget that junior high school picture I took. I had a toothpick in my mouth, but I didn't want to expose. So what I did, I sucked it in. It was like in the corner of my mouth. You could hardly see it though, you know. But yeah. And like you said, Brian, get a job. Get a job.
Get a job. Get
Yeah.
a job. That's it.
And they are human. Those players are human. They are, and they deserve a little bit of a nice relaxation on a flight. It's just like, you just can't get away from all these crazy people on the flights. What's happening with this thing?
I don't know. There's a lot of abusiveness on flights. You know, you get it. You know, you get them in the subways in major cities around the country, and now you can't even take an air flight because there's somebody that's want to just hound you and just for what? And you're drinking too. You know, that's the thing. So
ban alcohol from the flights. I want to get back to that Tom Brady bit. You know, so I was trying to process that. You know, when I got that news two days ago, I heard that news, and I looked at that. It was $375 million
for 10 years.
For 10 years.
After he retires, so
Yeah,
we don't know when he's going to retire.
That could be another 10 years. So,
well, he'd be 45 in August.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I don't know how many more years left, but you know, but what does that tell you? That tells you his wife wanted him to be home, so he retired from last season. Then not even 3 months, he unretired himself, and now he really wants to be out the house. Yeah. Something to that. I don't know what's going on, but it's something to that where why you don't want to be home. I understand the love and passion you have for the game, but I don't know. He wants to be connected to the game.
Yeah, and that analysis, he's going to be the head guy. Do you know what it takes to be the head person?
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I should have brought that up. Yeah, the lead. Yes, unbelievable.
When I heard that, I said, okay, look, I know a lot of these guys, they come off the field, football, baseball, basketball, these guys come off the court, they come off the field, and they want to go into the broadcasting booth. But they go in with the guys who are already polished, who already know the game, and they do like co-commentary or something like that. But this guy is going to be like, as if he's been there like 50 years.
But is it fair to the guy, to the next man or woman who went to school, pay their dues to get some experience? I mean, this Tom Brady, I know he's a wonderful, great player, but what experience does he have in broadcasting? How do we know he's going to be effective?
I had a big problem like that, as you already know, when I was a disc jockey, and I see all of these people who have gotten radio shows, people who recording artists, because remember back then in New York, they had, I'm pretty sure they went all over with this, but I remember Isaac Hayes had a radio show. What's his name? Ashford and Simpson had a radio show. They were disc jockeys. They all had radio shows. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees had a radio show.
Yeah.
And listen, God bless them. God bless them, man. But like you said, there were people who were before them who were trying to get positions like that. And
went to school for it.
And you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that. And there's a lot to go. There's a lot to do before you get in there. There's a lot. You just can't jump in there like that. And for someone just to jump, I'm still trying to process that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind Tom Brady going into the broadcast booth, but see what they're doing here. Tom Brady's a real good-looking guy. He's got that actor's face. He could be an actor. If he had the talent. He has that kind of face. He's a handsome guy, you know. And now, what are they going to do? How you know, when they put him in the booth, because when you're on TV, you don't get to be seen that much.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
That's his trademark. His looks is his trademark. So I'm just dying to see how they're going to work this thing out.
The only time will tell. You know, I mean, we was just talking about it on social media. Oh, because he's a champion, who knows more than he does? Well, you know what? That's Phil Jackson, former NBA great coach. He was a basketball player. He was a horrible player. Wasn't a great player, but he's one of the greatest coaches to ever play.
Yeah.
So because he's Tom Brady, seven Super Bowl champions, doesn't mean he's going to be a great color commentary or, you know, announcing games. We don't know. But he has no experience at all.
That's the thing I was going to bring out. He might not even like it. He might not even like it.
Yeah.
And so Fox Sports taking a big chance right now.
A huge chance.
And the big chance is not so much Tom Brady. The big chance is the money that they're dishing out to pay him.
Well, as you know, it's all about ratings. So, you know, I think that's another reason why they wanted Tom Brady for ratings. You know, they're competing against CBS and NBC and ABC and ESPN, you know. So it's all about the ratings. It's the ratings war, you know.
Plus they could say, look who we have. We have Tom Brady. Who do you have?
Yeah.
I know, the beat goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, what about tomorrow, Brian? How's it look?
50-50. I'm going to try to squeeze in there. But I did mail you the stuff this time.
Okay. Oh, you mailed it.
Yeah, I emailed it. Yes. But I'm going to make an attempt. There's a little schedule break for me. I guess just got to see how I'm going to work it out.
Okay, good enough. All right. So hopefully we'll see you then.
All right, and everybody watch those NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, and remember, keep your mask on. The numbers are going up in certain states.
And get a job.
And get a job, yes.
I'll catch you later, Brian. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Sports Update, that's what he does. He does that every Thursday around this time. And that was great information. And it was great to talk about the Tom Brady situation. Because, hey, guys, you know, I don't do the sports here. Brian does the sports. But it gives me a chance. It gives me a good chance to chime in. Because I got to tell you, as much as I like Tom Brady, I think he is the best of the best. He is the best of the best. I'm not going to take anything away from Tom Brady. You can't take anything away from Tom Brady. You just can't do it. But now you see, when it comes to broadcasting, all right, now you're coming into my alley, you know, and I'm trying to figure out. I didn't start that way. I didn't start as the head anything. You know, I didn't start as a head anything. I started way back when as a gopher. You know, I'm not suggesting that he becomes a gopher because he's much larger than that, because, you know, he's a football player. But as I said, most players, they come off the field, they come off the court, they go into the booth with the head analyst or the head commentator, and they kind of co-host with them what they do with the Yankees, you know. And even though they are pros, they do it. I mean, look, Ken Singleton was never a head announcer with the Yankees, but he did work with Michael Kay. Michael Kay was the head guy. And and even though Ken knows much more baseball because he played the game, Ken Singleton knows much more about baseball than Michael Kay does, because he played the game. Michael Kay knows the game. He researched it. He's got great research. He does his homework, you know. But but he was never on that field, and it takes a lot to know. And because even Michael Kay, you know, even he questions some of the players that he played with. You know, how does it feel? How did it feel when you were on the field that day? What was it like? And he asks questions, which is I like when he does that. I like when he does that. But now, in this case, it's going to be Tom Brady, the Mr. Know-It-All. You know, you got to figure that's what it is, because he's the head guy. He would be the head guy in charge. I don't know. You tell me what you think about that. You're watching right now. You tell me what you think about that. Okay. Again, I say that I don't dislike Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. I love him. And we'll have to see how it works. Again, because I mentioned before, he may not even want the job. He may not even like it. It may not even work out in his favor. You know, so Fox News, you know, instead of taking a little bit at a time, they say, okay, you know something, we like Brady. Let's put him in an announcer's booth. Let's see what he does. We got our head guy, our head announcer, and let's maybe he can co-host or co-announce, or maybe even do something on the field. Now that would have been a good job for him. You know, being an analyst on the field. I don't know if they thought that was like below him or something. I don't know. You know, but he's on the field. He knows the field. He knows every little grain of grass. You know, he knows the players. You know, he can talk to them. They like him. And I'm pretty sure, you know, people who are coming up in football will be glad to talk to him on the field. They would not reject an interview from him. We'll have to see what happens. But in the meantime, let's not get ahead of ourselves. In the meantime, he's still playing football. And this only comes when he's retired. When that happens, well, he retired once already. But when it happens now, we don't know. So let's right now not get ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy Tom Brady to what he's doing right now. And he's on the field playing the game. End of story. You're just watching us and you're just joining us. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. I'm with you up until the top of the hour, and we'll be with you. And of course, we thank you so much for being with us. In case you're just joining us, don't make it your last time. If this is your first time, don't make it your last time. Be part of us each week as we come along between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we have all the goods for you. We have the sports. We just talk sports. And you can engage in conversation right now as we speak. You can talk to me right now. All you have to do is type in, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. And if you have any questions, even if you want to talk about Tom Brady, like what we're talking about, if you have any questions for Brian, he's not here right now, but we can shoot over the questions to him, and he can entertain it tomorrow morning when he comes in, or, you know, and we can work it that way. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. On this day in history, 1934, Cocktails for Two by Duke Ellington hits #1. And on this day in history in 1943, British Premier Winston Churchill arrives in the USA. On this day in history in 1953, KUHT-TV, Channel 8, a public TV station in Houston, Texas, begins broadcasting. On this day in history in 1958, Nee Nee Na 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 Nu Nu by Dickie Doo and the Don'ts. That was an old doo-wop group back in the 50s. That song hit #40. On this day in history in 1960, Elvis Presley appears on the Frank Sinatra television special. Elvis sings Sinatra's 1957 Cy Coleman hit Witchcraft, and Frank performs Presley's 1956 classic Love Me Tender. On this day in history in 1963, Bob Dylan walks out of the Ed Sullivan Show, or off the Ed Sullivan Show, over a dispute about his song choice. On this day in history, in 1963, a race riot breaks out in Birmingham, Alabama. And back in 1967, H. Rap Brown replaces Stokely Carmichael as chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee of SNCC. In 1967, the first, where did I lose my place there? Did I lose? Oh, there it is right there. Okay, 1967, that's the year, 1967. The first quadraphonic concert by Pink Floyd happened at the Games for May concert in London. On this day in history, 1967, Are You Experienced? That's an album by Jimi Hendrix. Experience first released for the #1. It was one of the most influential duet albums ever. And back in 1962, Paul McCartney and Wings released Mary Had a Little Lamb. Would you believe that? In 1981, Lena Horne, with her show on Broadway called Lena, that's a musical that opened at the Nederlander Theater in New York City, and it ran for 333 performances. In 1983, Julie Lynn Hayek of California was crowned the 32nd Miss America. In 1984, South Africa pioneer Nelson Mandela sees his wife, Winnie Mandela, for the first time in 22 years. Back in 1984, White Horse by Laid Back hits number 26. In 1986, President Reagan appoints Dr. James C. Fletcher, NASA administrator. On this day in history in 1989, Entertainment Tonight makes its 2000 TV performance. In 1990, Nora Dunn and Sinead O'Connor boycott Saturday Night Live to protest Andrew Dice Clay's hosting, which was perceived as sexist. The show uses a time delay for the third time in history. And back in 1994, Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino, and it starred John Travolta, Uma Thurman, and Samuel L. Jackson, premieres at the Cannes Film Festival. In 1997, It's Your Life, that's a single, was done and released by Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. That's the married couple, of course. Actress Katharine Hepburn was born on this day in 1907 in Hartford, Connecticut. She passed away June 29th, 2003 at the age of 96 from natural causes. In 1910, Gordon Jenkins, American arranger and orchestra leader who performed with Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, and many others, was born on this day in Webster Grove, Missouri, and he passed away in 1984. In 1914, Howard K. Smith, an American TV anchorman and journalist, was born, and he was on ABC. He was born on this day, on that day, I should say, in 1914, on this day in 1914, and he was born in Ferry Day, Louisiana, and he passed away in 2002. In 1950, Mary Kay Ash, an American businesswoman and founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics. She passed away in 2001. And in 1928, Burt Bacharach, or some people say Bacharach, but I would say Bacharach. Burt Bacharach, American Grammy and Emmy Award winner, a composer. He did compositions such as I'll Never Fall in Love Again with Dionne Warwick, Raindrops Keeps Falling on My Head with B.J. Thomas, and Promises, Promises. Also Dionne Warwick recorded that. And he was born on this day. He was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and he's 94 today. So happy birthday to Burt Bacharach. 1935, Gary Peacock, an American jazz bassist who performed with Keith Jarrett Trio, and he was born in Burley, Idaho, and he passed away in 2020. 1936, Tom Schneider, American television and radio interviewer. He also hosts The Tomorrow Show between 1973 and 1982 and became a news anchor at NBC News. And he was born on this day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He passed away in 2007. In 1940, Norman Whitfield, American songwriter and producer for the Motown Group. He wrote songs like I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Just My Imagination, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and so many others. He was born in New York City, and he passed away in 2008 at the age of 80. And he would have been 80, I should say. In 1942, Billy Swan, an American country rock singer and songwriter, was born in Cape Girardeau, Louisiana. Okay, and in 1944, 1944, where did it go? Where did it go? I lost my place again. Oh, there we go. Okay, 1944, James Purifier teamed up with Bobby Purifier. You remember them, James and Bobby Purifier, an American R&B singer, and they did that hit song, I'm Your Puppet, and he was born in Pensacola, Florida, and he passed away 2021. In 1948, singer Steve Winwood was born on this day in Birmingham, Birmingham, England. And he's 74 today, so happy birthday, Steve Winwood. In 1950, actor Bruce Boxleitner was born in Elgin, Illinois, and he's 72 today. Now, would you believe this? Homer Simpson, everybody knows Homer Simpson. He needs no introduction. Homer Simpson of the Simpsons. All right, he celebrates a birthday. He was born in 1956 on this day. Homer Simpson, and he's 65 years old. Who would have thunk it? Homer Simpson. Happy birthday, Homer, wherever you are. Okay, in 1959, actor Ving Rhames was born in New York City. He's 63 today. Happy birthday. 1966, actor Stephen Baldwin, one of the iconic Baldwin brothers. Steve Baldwin was born on this day in 1966 at Massapequa, New York, and he's 56 today. Happy birthday. In 1969, actress Kim Field was born. She's the one that played Tootie in Facts of Life. She was born in Los Angeles, California. She's 53 today. In 1970, actress Samantha Mathis was born in Brooklyn, New York, and she's 52 today. In 1971, actress Jamie Luna was born in Palo Alto, California. And she's 51 today, so happy birthday to her. In 1977, soap actress Rebecca Hersp, that's her name, Rebecca Hersp. She's currently playing in General Hospital. She's an actress on General Hospital. We all know her. And she was born in Encino, California. She's 45 today. I watched her show this afternoon, I have to confess. You know, I had my afternoons off, so I sit back and watch her. She, by the way, her character is Elizabeth, if you follow that show. Okay, in 1956, New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner, he weds Elizabeth Jones Zeith. In 1959, actress Elizabeth Taylor marries for the 4th time to entertainer Eddie Fisher. And in 1971, Rolling Stones Mick Jagger, he weds actress and model Bianca Perez Mora. And they got married at the St. Tropez Town Hall in France. In 1979, a US Senator Edward W. Brooke weds for the second time, his wife, Anne Lee Fleming. In 1990, American singer Patti Page, remember How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? Woof, woof. She weds Jerry Philly, how can I pronounce that? Philly Siccato. That's Jerry Siccato. There we go. That's Jerry Philly Siccato. I got the name out there right now. Okay. In 2004, model actress Ali Landry files for an annulment to her husband that she was married to by her husband that played on Saved by the Bell. You know him. He's a very popular guy, Mario Lopez, and they got annulled less than 2 years after they got married. Okay, and in 2016, actress Billie Piper and fellow actor Lawrence Fox were divorced after 8 years of marriage. And finally, 1992, actor Robert Reed, who played Mike on the Brady Bunch, he dies at the age of 59. And so that's what's happening. That is what's happening in this day in history, on this day in history. Now, if any of you know further what's happening on this day in history, please let us know. And if I didn't mention it, I would certainly want to do that. I would certainly love to do that. And what I would do is I'll just type it there and I will see you right there up on the big screen. Brian mentioned Andrew Dice Clay, Hickory Dickory Dock. Brian liked Andrew Dice Clay. He was a little, he got that name Dice. I don't know how he got the name Dice, but he was kind of dicey. He was kind of, when he was doing comedy back in that day, I don't know if he's active now. Brian, do you know that, whether if he's active now? But he was kind of hardcore back then, Andrew Dice Clay. But they did do that. They wanted to boycott Saturday Night for him hosting it. He was kind of sexist, you know. But that was back in those days. They're not tolerating anymore. So forget about, if you're going to be a comedian, you don't want to be Andrew Dice Clay. You want to be somebody else that's a little milder. You could still be funny, but you don't have to be sexist. You don't have to be racist or anything like that. You could just make people laugh and have a good time, because that's what people come to your clubs to watch you, to make you laugh. But at the same time, they don't want to insult you out there, because not everyone can be an Andrew Dice Clay, and not everyone can be a Don Rickles. All right, there's another. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. In case you're just joining us, it's coming up to 9 minutes to the hour. And it's Talk Back Live. And just in case you're just joining us for the very first time, don't make it your last time. Come here every week and you can talk to us, and we'd love to have your input into the show. We really would love to have your input. And all you have to do, if you don't want to do it today, right when we're live, you can do it by getting in touch with me via email or my telephone number. Now, my email address, I said it early at the top of the show, but I'll repeat it again for those of you who want to do that. You can email me, frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D, that's short for productions, frankallanprod@aol.com. Okay, you can do that. Or you can call me at any time you like. You can call me, just don't wake me up. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Don't call me 4 o'clock in the morning. At 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. And of course, someone will get back to you, or you could leave any kind of message. Make it clean though, you know, don't insult me, you know, please don't. I know it's part of the deal, you know. They say people, public people, you know, they get insults, and people, you know, people call them names and things like that, which is one of the things I wanted to talk about too, when it comes to doing what we do here. Now, I am, you know, like me and other people who have shows on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and we become what they say visible. Some people like to call us different things. Some people like to call us stars. I don't look at myself as a star. Some people like to say people of notoriety, which I probably accept more than a star. Some people just like to say people who are well known, or a little bit well known, or whatever. Any kind of notoriety that you have, people tend to, you know, you are public and people are out there. And people who have shows like this, of course, me, I get them just like everyone else. I get criticized. I get called names. I get hate mail. I get all of that. And you can't bring that out. And I'm talking to some of you people out there, and you know who you are. You people who have shows on Facebook, and you come on and you bring that out there because someone talked about you or criticized you. And their criticism don't have to really be negative. They can really be positive criticisms. But you'll take it to heart. It says, oh, you know, that person, you know, I don't care what that person say. You know what? If you don't like it, go someplace else. And believe me, they will do it when you tell them that. Me, if you have a criticism, I listen to you. I'll listen to you and I'll say, okay, that's your opinion. I think name calling, you know, you don't have to do that. That's needless. You don't have to do that. But people do it. And we all get criticized. You're in the public eye, you get criticized for people like that. And it's okay, you know, as long as no one hurts you, as no one calls you, you know, derogatory names or racist names or sexist names or things like that, you know, it's okay, you know, and I'm good with it, you know, but I am not good with people who are in this medium, who can't take it. You know, you have to have a little thick skin. If you don't have it, get lost. That's what I say. you know, and you guys know who you are. You guys, you Facebook people who have shows on this medium, you know who you are. You YouTube people, you know who you are. You Instagram people, you know who you are. All right, relax. It's only a show. That's all it is. Okay, and speaking of that, I have those shows of shows, those shows of shows. Listen, do you already know, you guys already know that I always pick out movies for you guys, right? And my picks of the week, for all of you who like to indulge in the weekend, you have things to do, you probably got a lot of things to do, but I just want to add to your bucket list of things to do on the weekend. And that includes watching the Turner Classic Movies. And I have, each week, as you already know, I pick out movies in my picks. I can't pick them all, but I have, you know, certain picks that I like to present to you that I think are worth watching. And so I have two this weekend. All right, I picked them out myself. I have two, and here they are. First one, here's something that I think you're gonna like. The Night of the Hunter from 1955 with Robert Mitchum. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Friday. That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. And you'll be home from work, right? You'll have your dinner, it's already done. And you can sit back and relax with your favorite beverage or your snack or whatever. The Night of the Hunter is a great show with Robert Mitchum. I never get tired of watching that show. My mom took me to see that movie back in 1955 when I was only 5 years old. She took me, I saw that movie. And so it's a great, so that's coming on this Friday. That's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Also, you have Edge of the City with Sidney Poitier and John Cassavetes, right? That's Cassavetes, Cassavetes, right? And that's a good movie back in 1957, Edge of the City, and that comes on Turner Classic Movie. You can check that out Saturday at 1:45 p.m. And so check it out. And those are the two movies I have this week. Now, you could also go on Turner Classic Movies, go through the guide and check out other movies that are there. They may be other movies that you may be interested in. These are just my picks of the week for the weekend. Not that I don't like the other ones, but these are just my picks. But there are other ones I'm leading you to. So you go to Turner Classic Movies, check out the banner, go through it, just scroll down and scan through the program guide, and you'll see other movies that you may like. And you can DVR all of these movies too. Now, all of the movies that they give you each week, right? They never overlap each other. I make sure that doesn't happen so you can watch them all in its entirety. All right. So you could also go to Movies on Demand. There are a lot of movies there you could watch this weekend. Movies, I haven't checked Demand in a long time. You could watch that, go there, and you'll see a lot of movies and from the 50s, the 30s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 40s, I don't know, all of them. You can check them out. Maybe they're movies you haven't seen there in a long time, right? And also, like sports, I'm pretty sure, depending on what sports you like. I like wrestling. If I miss a match, I can always go the following day and it'll be right there on demand. And all kinds of networks, all the networks, you can check them out, everything on demand. Here's something that you want to also check out that I didn't even know was happening. I saw the first episode before I came here tonight. It's on Showtime. It's called The First Ladies and their series. And I didn't even know they had it. All right, so that's something you want to go check out. They have this, so far they have 4 episodes up there so far. So I'm going to catch up with all of them. Anyway, let me go back to these movies here that I was telling you about. This movie, Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum, and that comes on Turner Classic Movies. That's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you also have Edge of the Cities with Sidney Poitier and John Cassavetes, and that's on Saturday. That's 1:45 p.m. Eastern, and it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. And I hope you like these movies. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. These are great movies. Check them out. Just check them out. If you haven't seen them, don't judge them. Watch them. You'll like them. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good time as usual. You can catch me back here tomorrow morning. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I hope you will be here too, 10 a.m. And we are going to be here with Brian Camp, hopefully with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He will be here. And also, you can catch DJ Pete. He'll be here for his part of the 2020 feature too at 22 the hour. Brian is 20 after the hour. DJ Pete 22 the hour. DJ Pete has the entertainment news and all of those great things happening. That's tomorrow. Other than that, I'll be back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. I hope you will be here as well. Until then, make sure that you have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and of course, a good night. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale, technical assistance Dave Taylor, research by Sandy Pierce, and I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.